Hi there again. My name is Liz Smith, and I want to give you a warm welcome to the Cupid's Bow Technique Module 5. So what have we got coming up for you in this module today? Well, we've got more around commitment to marriage, some skills for life information. He has to realise he could lose you. This is what this whole program is all around, really, is sending home that wake-up call message to him. More around looking good and feeling great, being a high-value feminine woman and what that entails and what that means. Talking about what are your current living arrangements, some moving target progression, what comes next. We're going to be speaking about taking all talk of commitment off the table, some words of caution around what we've discussed thus far, and a bit more about a wise woman's best kept secret, and then finally going over some of the main points again at the end to wrap up. All right, so let's share the screen and get onto the PowerPoint. Okay. Hopefully you can see the PowerPoint now. Sorry, that's on the wrong page. Okay, ready to start the Cupid's Bow Technique Module 5, presented by myself, Lynn Smith. All right, as per normal, I usually run through a summary of what has previously been discussed in the last module. So a summary from Module 4 is that we discussed what if you want marriage. We also talked about how to handle the urge to contact him first. What if he's complaining or moaning, or even just commenting about why you may or may not be ignored. Why you need to let go of your expectations. How to voice your wants and desires. And then not only why you need to let go of your expectations, but then how to let go of your expectations. And we also went through some common mistakes women make, how to create an emotional attachment, how to live in your feminine energy, and lastly, how to pour water on the conflict fire. So as always, having gone through that in Module 4, what breakthroughs have you had since completing Module 4? And again, if you need to pause the video to have a think about that question and really consider it and playful out, that would be much appreciated, because as I've always said right way through the course materials, that, you know, the more you understand this information, the more you concentrate and playful out in taking part in what you need to do with regards to your own due diligence, the better your results. So the next question, did anything prevent you from taking action? And if anything did, what's the underlying fear that stopped you from taking action? And again, the final question, where else do you let this fear run your life? And these are all good key questions that we keep asking, because it is very, very, very empowering to gain awareness of where your problems and underlying fears maybe have been laying dormant previously, and you weren't conscious that they may have been affecting the results that you were getting negatively in your current or previous relationships. So it's all very powerful stuff, great questions to ask yourself. And as I said before, you know, halfway to solving the problems are by acknowledging that they exist, and your brain will automatically start searching for solutions. Okay, if you need to, as I say, pause the video to sort of consider those questions in a bit more depth, and do so. And then we'll move on to the next slide into Module 5. Okay, so Module 5, the first section we're going to talk about focuses on commitment and marriage. So if you're involved with a man you want to marry, but your relationship is not progressing towards that commitment because he seems content with your current relationship status, I should say, that's where I got a statement from, So if he seems content with your current relationship status, but you're not, so you may be feeling frustrated at best, then what do you do about that? Well, there is no right time for commitment. A lot will depend on what age or stage of life you're at. Most women do want to get married to the soulmate at some point. So what's the healthiest way to get the best result? There is a way that involves issuing no ultimatums and that feels like a natural decision of progression for him to be inspired to make. But first, there is a decision that you seriously need to make. Is this man a good catch? Be honest with yourself. Do you currently have a healthy relationship? What are your motives for wanting to get married? Are there any underlying negative emotions? For example, if it's because you're desperate to have children, then as we've discussed previously, desperation will not get you the result you want. Or it might get you the result, but you won't have a very healthy relationship on the back of that. Also ask yourself, are you a high value feminine woman for your man to win? If you followed the process in the previous modules of the Cupid's bow technique, then you most certainly will be. If you have a good relationship with your family and he also has a good relationship with his, have you met each other's families? The same question goes for his friends as well. If not, then this might be an indicator that it may be too soon to be talking about commitment. After all, this is a big life-changing decision. Getting married is not a solution if there are other problems such as boredom, codependency, or insecurity that need to be resolved in your relationship first. And usually men are slower, sometimes a lot slower to commit than women, because they see it as a huge responsibility which they take very seriously, because they've probably been in previous relationships where the woman has tried to change them and or they felt trapped. Or maybe he's seen these things happen to his friends. Men value their freedom. It adds to his well-being and health to feel he has some free time to be independent and autonomous. And men also worry that once they commit, you may change from being a happy, attractive, independent warm woman to being a complaining, smothering, cold wife. Okay, so let's just consider, is now a good time? The Cupid's bow technique is about valuing and giving yourself the increased confidence to trust your feminine power and have him realizing how mad with desire and in love with you he really is. If you've been exclusively with him and having a regular contact, a minimum of 4 times a week, and this doesn't necessarily have to be face-to-face, this can include live phone calls, for example, over a period of at least 2 years, and you're both over the age of 24, then I'd say yes, the chances are good that this is the right moment. But that's only a rough guide. So what relationship skills would I suggest you keep in place for the lifetime of your relationship? I really want to drive home that you need to realize your self-worth. A lot of women don't realize how much power they have in relationships. So I hope you, on the back of doing previous modules, realize that you really do have a lot of power in your relationship. And to realize your self-worth. Be a high-value feminine woman. Have real top standards and know your boundaries. Remember to set daily me-time routines focusing on you and your own well-being. And take full responsibility for doing the things to keep yourself happy, independently of him. And this includes making an effort with your appearance as well. I want to make sure that, all my clients are very conscious of implementing these skills, and that you're showing regularly that you're being a caring, queen of fun, laughter and flirty, playful person. And also don't offer to help him with something he's perfectly capable of doing for himself. This makes him feel emasculated. Unless he's asked you for help, and only then if it doesn't interfere with your own health and well-being routine, don't help him. Just say, I can't. And he'll accept that, really. Honestly, he will. Just accept that you can't. Just drop everything to help him. And again, that adds to your value in his eyes. Conversely, if he offers, allow him to help you now and again. Even if you're super efficient and perfectly capable of doing it for yourself, it makes him feel like a man when you allow him to come to your rescue or do things for you. And don't allow a man to do all the taking. Learn to receive. A lot of women are very poor at learning to receive, whether it's help, compliments, gifts, or most importantly, in the case of your intimate relationship, his pursuit of you, which is his investment in the relationship. When you're together, be present, listen to him, give him respect, praise and appreciation. Men really thrive on that. He has to realize he could lose you. The Cupid's bow technique sends him these very clear messages that you're a high value feminine woman. You can live with or without him. And if he doesn't snap you up, then another man will. This is the underlying message that we're sending to your man. Okay, so we're now going to go on to looking good and feeling great for no good reason. So again, whether you're with him or not, regularly make an effort with your appearance. Even if you don't wear makeup, which I have to confess, I very, very rarely wear makeup. But what I always do try to do is, make at least an effort with my hair. I always like to put a flower in my hair. I don't know if you've noticed, that's a consistent thing for me. And, make an effort with what clothes you wear that flatter your shape and size. So even if you don't wear makeup, you can make an effort with your hair, clothes and accessories. Make the choice to look good even when you wear casual clothes, as this will also give you a feel-good factor and you'll automatically exude more confidence. You don't have to bow to any media pressure to look a certain way. The good news is men love women regardless of what size or shape you are. You may have noticed that I'm not the most slimmest woman, but I've never had a problem attracting great men in my life. I've been very lucky that way. So I've never been a stick thin model shape, and I never will be, I don't reckon, not unless I really get some sort of serious illness or something. So, don't worry about your size or shape. Men are attracted to women of all shapes and sizes. So you don't need to wear sexy or revealing clothes to attract him either. Because when it comes to long-term relationships, good quality men are attracted to confident, high-value feminine women. And you want to give off an energy that you're looking for love, not looking for sex. You're not cheap, in other words. This is about being classy, not trashy. Your man will notice if you've stopped caring about your appearance. So if you don't feel as attractive as when you first met him, let him see that you're still regularly prepared to make an effort. And that doesn't mean 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Just let him see that you're prepared to regularly make an effort now and again. He'll really appreciate this. Men are very visual creatures, and he'll feel proud that you're his. It's not that he's shallow, it's just part of his primal masculine DNA. It's ingrained within him. Now, a lot of women lose their own sense of identity when they enter a relationship, and they stop being the woman that he was initially attracted to, because they give up the things that contributed to their well-being, the things that kept them happy and busy, their friends, their hobbies and their interests, and allowed their whole world to start revolving purely around him. Now, this will either create an unhealthy codependent relationship, or he'll feel pressured and want to pull away. Remember, you're now living a healthy life and taking full responsibility for your own well-being and happiness. Be a busy, high-value feminine woman, the queen of fun, joy, and laughter, whether he's with you or not. With all these wonderful distractions, hobbies, and interests filling your life, you're bound to attract the approval of other men. Other men who will find you attractive and who will delight in giving you attention, which will boost your confidence even more. And your man will definitely notice this. He'll definitely notice the positive changes you're making, and it will be sure to give him a bit of a jolt. It may make him feel a bit uncomfortable because you become more unpredictable, and not being predictable is one of the wisest ways to arouse his curiosity and get him to pay attention. He'll observe that the woman he loves and adores is looking really fabulous and feeling great and has lots of things going on in her life. She's engaged in lots of activities which bring her into contact with other people, including other available men who could replace him in your life. You've just raised your value massively in his eyes and made him realize that if he doesn't make a more permanent commitment to you, he risks losing you to another man who will. And what's really wonderful is that all this can be implemented without it being necessary for you to mention your relationship status at all. How cool is that? Very good. All right. Okay, continue being a high-value feminine woman. Men become besotted with women they respect, worship, and have passion for. To be seen as his queen, you must stand out above all other women. This does not mean you never make mistakes. It just means you have the mindset and behaviors that make you a very high-value feminine woman. High-value feminine women are women that great men want to commit to and marry. So get used to and enjoy sitting on that throne. Remember, when you become a moving target, you create the space to stretch his Cupid's bowstring and for him to pursue you. Now, let me just ask you this question. What are your current living arrangements? If you're not already living together, then I would highly recommend not moving in with him until you have the commitment you want. It'll give you even more space and leverage to implement the Cupid's bow technique if you're currently living apart. If you are already living with your man, then fret not. This is still going to work because you are still in a strong position where he could still lose you. Okay. So moving target progression. In the Cupid's bow technique, we're now going to progress the moving target concept. If you've not tried being a moving target in any of your relationships before, implementing it will probably produce even bigger results because it will be a completely different experience for him. And the best bit is it's a very peaceful, diplomatic approach. The Cupid's bow technique creates intrigue and is exciting and fun. It isn't demanding or aggressive. Instead, it triggers an internal shift in your man, which urges him to want to commit to you and your relationship. It's a powerful draw, so strong, it magnetically compels him to see commitment as being his next logical intention. It's important that you have thoroughly watched all the previous modules in this course and feel as though you have a good understanding of the Cupid's bow technique. If not, please replay them as many times as you need to. There is no need to rush this process. If you've waited this long and waited this far, then you might as well take that little bit of extra time. I really love this Zig Ziglar quote. Repetition is the mother of learning, the father of action, which makes it the architect of accomplishment. I trust that you are now feeling confident, strong, and have had a period of taking full responsibility for your own well-being and feel happy, prepared, and ready to take more action. So let's recap. You now have in place a daily well-being routine and are living a full life as the queen of fun, laughter, and flirty playfulness. Internally, you feel happy and have the inner confidence of being a high-value feminine woman that men are extremely attracted to. Externally, you are taking care of your appearance and radiating an aura of calm, grace, and warmth. No freaking out, being needy, desperate, or insecure. There's no place for that here. You fill up your spare time doing hobbies and activities you love that keep you busy and bring you into contact with lots of social groups, including men who could be attracted to you and may want to pursue you. This will be making your man feel a bit uncomfortable, and that's a good thing, because it will make him realize that he needs to take action or else lose the woman he loves. The Cupid's bow technique creates in him a strong emotional attachment, which in turn heightens his craving for you to the extent that he's driven to act on it. If your man truly loves and cares for you, it makes him suddenly appreciate what he's previously took for granted and didn't feel inspired to fully value. You'll ignite a strong feeling and urge in him to commit that had been lying dormant all this while before. So how does the urge in him to commit get ignited? Well, psychologically, people always place a higher value on something if it's perceived to be admired by others, unique, unavailable, or limited. It's as simple as that. It motivates us to want it more. He becomes much more aware of his strong feelings for you when he's denied access. He has time to miss you, and whilst missing you, he'll be fully focused on all the positive aspects of you and your relationship. And that's all there is to it. And remember this, unless he initiates it, take all commitment talk off the table. And that's if you haven't already done so. Hopefully you have, but if you haven't already done so, now's the time to take all talk of commitment off the table. From now on, avoid bringing up discussions on the subject of your relationship status and anything to do with commitment, getting engaged, or married. These references may have already become negative triggers for him in the past, and if it's been a source of frustration for you too, then it should seem to him now that you've become indifferent. You don't want him to feel pressured or talk of this issue to be a barrier to your future success. What you want is for him to feel that the pressure is off and that you're perfectly fine and happy with or without him. He'll then be less resistant to the idea of commitment and more intrigued and focused on how he can make you even happier. Result. Now some important words of caution. Don't get caught up in trying to analyze. I know I should say analyze, but I like to say it as analyze because a lot of my clients do analyze the responses of their men. So don't get caught up in trying to analyze his responses. The focus here needs to be on you and taking care of your happiness, health, and well-being, not him. Trust in the Cupid's bow technique. Don't give him any indication that you're using a technique. Don't be influenced to alter what you're doing. Don't have any expectations around how you think he should be responding. And just trust. And then be open to whatever response or non-response you get. Have the belief that everything is always perfect. If at first it feels a bit uncomfortable or even unnatural to you, this is only because you've been conditioned and used to engaging in your old behaviours. And the more practice you get, the more natural it will become. The Cupid's bow technique is a wise woman's best kept secret. This technique should never be mentioned to any man you're involved with during the lifetime of your relationship. Although this technique is designed to enhance your relationship to its highest, healthiest level, your man may not perceive it that way. However, wise women know that it is a tribute to men that we take the time and trouble to discover and implement these skills because we do love them so much. So let me just run through now the main points that we've gone through in this module. Don't negatively react to him. If you're freaking out, feeling desperate, needy, or insecure, you're letting him know that you're more invested in the relationship than he is, and that he has all the power that he could use to treat you really badly. If you ever feel anxious when it feels like he's backing off or being distant, it's easy for you to make the assumption that it's something to do with you, when in actual fact, most of the time, nothing could be further from the truth. He could be pulling away for a variety of reasons, none of which could be about you or anything you did or didn't do. Reacting from fear or loss is not something a high-value feminine woman does. Excuse me a minute, I'm just going to take a sip of water. So what do you do if he's pulling away? This is easy to answer. Absolutely nothing. There is a well-known saying in the UK, if in doubt, do nought. Let go of any expectations and just continue to focus on you and your well-being. He'll be so grateful that you're giving him the time and space to stretch, his Cupid's bowstring or work through any problem, that he'll soon be back pursuing you with intensity. When that happens and he starts connecting with you and paying attention, here's a great tip. Get him involved in an unpredictable, positive experience. Arrange some fun activity or even do something risque, anything to get his heart racing with excitement. By doing this, you'll be reinforcing why you're so special and different to other women and why he loves you so much. The reason the Cupid's bow technique works so well is because you'll be doing the opposite of what most other women do, and this is what gives you the edge. Most other women react from fear when their man pulls away by creating drama, complaining, or behaving in a way that feels smothering to him. Men even come to expect this response from men. So whenever you back off, using the power of polarization, he'll feel like a huge amount of pressure has been released off him. If you then follow this up by engaging him in a fun, positive experience, his urge to commit to you for life will naturally be activated. No matter what his response is, you must resolve to trust in the Cupid's bow technique. That's the best way to make him want to commit to you forever. Okay. Exciting, yeah? Right, so let me just summarize what we've just covered in Module 5. We've gone through a little bit more talk around commitment and marriage, the skills you can implement for life, emphasizing the fact he has to realize that he could lose you, looking good and feeling great, being a high-value feminine woman, the question around what are your current living arrangements, the moving target progression, taking all commitment talk off the table, the words of caution, a wise woman's best kept secret, and then the main points that I've run through that I felt were the main points of the whole course, really. So having done all that in this module with me today, you know what I'm going to say now. What have been the aha moments? What have you learned today? So pause the video, spend a few minutes and have a little think about what have you learned today. Okay, and I'm just going to move on to some closing thoughts. So I want you to remember that life is all about personal growth, and that on that path we're bound to make some mistakes and have the occasional setback. Don't worry when that happens, it's perfectly normal. See those times as opportunities to learn and get some valuable feedback on your own amazing journey towards success. The moment you start analysing or worrying about whether you're getting it right, you start doing it wrong. So I mean, it is, what I mean by that, sorry, is it's no longer an exercise in fun, passion and commitment, but a focus on him and having expectations. The only way to do it wrong is to think you are. So let go of that control and just trust in the Cupid's bow technique. So I want to offer congratulations now. You've finished this course. You have some fantastic insights into how to attract and create a healthy, committed soulmate relationship. And now it's up to you to implement what you've discovered and enjoy the happy, committed, fulfilling relationship you deserve. Practice makes perfect. After a while, it will become easy and effortless to naturally live in your feminine energy. Embarking on this exciting adventure is about discovering who you truly are when you're operating at your very best, authentic core self. Living and being a high-value, feminine, wise woman by using the power of polarization. Okay. I've really enjoyed delivering this course. Remember that, as I say, practice makes perfect. Don't worry about making mistakes and getting it wrong. I've done it. All my clients have done it. They've come through it and they've got the results. So don't expect, that you'll be able to remember every single thing, and don't expect to think, oh my gosh, I need to get this right, or I need to do that right. Let go of all that. Just trust that everything is going to be all good and play with it. Have fun with it. If this has whetted your appetite and curiosity and you want to go deeper and you'd like to be more involved in the workshops or courses or online webinars or trainings that I do, then what I can suggest you do is go to thenextstepwithlynn.com, and there you'll be able to opt in to progress and go deeper with all of this information. So I look forward to working with you in the future. I really care about my clients. I do want you to get some great results. So if there are any other struggles or any relationship issues that I've not touched on in this particular course, then by all means get in touch and let's speak, let's talk, let's chat, let's communicate, and let's have you as part of the Lynn Smith community. And I really, really look forward to getting to know you better. So have a great rest of the day. I look forward to touching base with you in the future. And thank you very much for buying this course. I'm really grateful. Thank you. Bye for now.